Welcome back to balance class. Last time we talked about the sense of vision. Today we're going to talk about the sense of touch, the second sense that we use to help us with our balance. This one is a little interesting, I think, because now we start to talk a little bit about when to use a cane, when to use a walker, why to use a cane, why to use a walker. Because most of us know that if we touch something, we're a little bit more stable. The touch that we should use primarily to help us with balance is through our feet. The feet should be sensing what's going on underfoot, whether the sidewalk is sloped, whether there's a break in the sidewalk, like a tree root is underneath it and it's uneven, whether there's a garden hose that we didn't see because we were carrying something. So in a perfect world, our feet would detect those changes, send the signal up to our brain, and then the brain would send down the response signal so that our feet could adjust and we could keep going. Think about yourself as a child playing manhunt, playing hide and seek. You probably stepped over a ton of stuff, probably in the dark, and you did just fine. But unfortunately, as we age, yes, we all are aging at the same rate of speed, our senses aren't as functional and our responses aren't as quick. So it makes it a little bit more challenging. So we do tend to trip on things, perhaps. So I think it's really important to make sure that your feet are pliable, okay? That your toes can bend so that when you put your foot down on the heel, that you're able to flatten the foot, roll the foot, and push with your toes to take the next step. Some of you probably heard heel, toe, but in between the heel and the toe, there's a lot of stuff that should be going on. The little bones of our feet are very much like the bones of our hand in that they should also be able to go side to side to adjust for any undulation. Let's say on the grass, it may look like it's flat, but there may be some lumps and bumps that you have to deal with there. And the feet, we were put together pretty amazingly so that all those little bones can make those adjustments if you can feel them. So if you have neuropathy, that's going to make it more challenging for you to feel what's going on underfoot. If you have good sensation through your feet, but you don't have very flexible feet, or you have hammer toes, okay? We know those toes suction the floor. They're supposed to. Maybe not all the time, but that's part of their function and that's good. We want them to do that. If you have an amputation of your big toe, that's a really big deal. So the feet in particular have a lot to do with the sense of touch. When that sense or when those feet aren't really doing their job like they should or like they used to, then we use touch in other ways, okay? Touching furniture. People are furniture hoppers. I'm not a big fan of that because at 5'6", to touch this table, you can see I have to bend over a little bit. I am much more balanced here than I am here. So bear that in mind. As a physical therapist, I would much rather see everyone use a cane or a walker so they get an increased sense of touch. And we're going to do an episode on base of support, but I want to touch on that a little bit today. Base of support is a big deal. So when you use a walker, you increase your base of support exponentially, right? If you use a cane and you stick that cane down on the ground, instead of having your left foot, your right foot as your base of support, your base of support now goes from the outside of this foot to the cane. That increased base of support, we know something that is wide, like a coffee table, and low is more stable than something that is narrow and tall. We're pretty tall, so we need that wider base of support to help us. So, in summary, if you notice that you are furniture hopping, my number one suggestion is you need to talk to your doctor, talk to your therapist about getting an assistive device. A cane, a trekking pole if you want, a walker. For most people, a walker with wheels is going to be better so that you continue your gait pattern so you don't have to do that. But that's on an individual basis. So talk to your healthcare provider. And we're going to do an episode on assistive devices in the future, so we'll touch on that. In the meantime, do what you can for your feet. Keep them pliable. Be honest with yourself. See your podiatrist, see your physician, and be open to the idea of using an assistive device if you're having trouble. Absolutely no shame in that. In fact, I tell my patients all the time, we're very often worried that they're going to look old by using a cane or a walker. That you look a lot older, shuffling around, holding onto furniture, and perhaps falling and being on the floor than you do standing tall with the device that gets you where you want to and need to be safely. All right. Thanks for joining us again today. Just a short bit on the sense of touch. Hope you guys have a great day.